I'm with my good friend Greg. Greg, I'm looking at your Daytona.
Yes.
Tell me your feelings on this Daytona. This is your sort of your top, your most expensive piece, and it came from a. I organised the deal, by the way. I set you up with my good friend from Perth.
Yes, he's a great guy. He was selling it. I'm very pleased with it. It's a beautiful piece. Yes.
And Greg, how do you feel about it? This was quite an expensive piece.
Yeah, it's a very expensive
What
piece.
made you want the Daytona in two-tone?
Well, it wasn't a deliberate decision. It just came along.
You wanted a white dial Daytona, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I've always wanted a white dial Daytona.
And
I just think it looks beautiful. That's all.
it does, Greg. I got to tell you, I love it myself. There.
I mean, everybody loves the steel, and I can understand. I mean, it's harder to get, but
The two tones aren't that plentiful. I tell you what, I
no,
started.
They're not.
They're pretty.
I just the problem with steel is that you sometimes pay more for a used one than a brand new one, and with
Yes.
this one, you still, because the two tones are so much dearer.
Yes.
Than the steel ones. Yes, you can get the more readily available. You still
It's
you get it
amazing,
on a second-hand market. You sort of get a better deal on it.
Greg. This Daytona itself here. What's the reference number? It's a 116.
Yes, I think it's. Oh, jeez, I can't remember. I think it's 16523 or something. No,
I think it's a 116, isn't
double.
it?
It
Is
could
it
be a
double
double
one?
one.
I
Could
think
be a
it's-
double one.
But Greg, it's an amazing piece, and is that your favourite two tone compared to the other two? You've got the sub and the GMT.
Well,
Is
it's
this
my most valuable one.
yes?
But I'd have a hard. Well, obviously, I'd have for the value of it. I'd have to have which one would you keep for argument's sake. I think that one would be the most valuable one, but I can't really say.
Do you love it the most?
It's hard to say. I like them all. That's the thing.
If you were meeting Miss World, which one would you put on, Greg?
Yes, I think I'd probably still wear this one.
The
It's kind of-
Daytona?
It's kind of the most dressy piece out of them all, probably.
Yes.
The white
Yes,
dial
it's
and the
it's an
dressy.
absolute stunner, and
It's gorgeous.
I gotta say, you're a very lucky man to have this. This is a beautiful piece, and you've
116523. That's what it's
yeah 11.6
called. 523.
523. I gotta tell you, Greg, you really got the sweet spot. I absolutely adore the newer bracelet. I think the bracelet on this is a magic.
It's beautiful.
The
Yes.
shears are just solid, and it's kind of not criticizing your other pieces, but I think the new clasp that's on this Daytona,
It's more solid.
it's just magic. And you were saying to me too, it's also got the solid links. These are solid
Solid inner links. Yes.
solid inner links.
Everything's solid. So
Solid. Well,
there's a fair bit of gold there, and it's all in gold.
yes, Greg, you're a lucky chap to own this stuff. It's I really do love the Daytona. That's it's one of these things. A lot of people criticize the two-tone, but when you actually see it,
Yeah, but why do they criticize us? Just because
they're assholes,
no,
Greg.
well,
it's like my viewers. They're all
but-
a lot of them are
but
assholes.
you go back in time, and the only ones you could get were the steel ones, and then you could get the solid gold ones. The two tones came later on. What's going to happen
Yes.
in 20 years' time? I think they're all going to be equally valuable. Maybe the stigma, and I've seen somewhere that
I
they
don't see
produce-
any stigma. I'd bloody wear this every day of the week. I reckon this is a sexy watch.
It's a very
Nothing
yes.
stigma about this. I would bloody wear it. It's gorgeous.
I don't know why people. I actually.
And people
you know,
criticize
people
it
criticize
because
the
they're
two-tone,
assholes. They can't afford
but-
it.
But
That's why.
it's okay to criticize, but give a good reason.
Yes.
I understand the steel one is the hardest to get, but at the same time, I look at it from a more practical. I don't look at something what people say are more collectible. I look what I like, and if I like this one, why should I say, oh, buy the one that buy the one that collectors more want. Well, that's not the main purpose of buying. If I look at it that way, I'm going to start looking at buying 5513s and 1680s and stuff like that, and that's not what I want. That's not what
No.
interests me.
Greg,
Just because it's collectible, just because everybody wants them, you have to buy what makes you happy.
Greg,
That's, at the end of the day, what
exactly
matters.
right. You got to buy what you love, and I can tell you what, I really love this Daytona.
It is beautiful.